Death Ship is a 1980 nautical horror movie directed by Alvin Rakoff. So the premise of this truly eerie, truly creepy movie is that a luxury liner captained by none other than George Kennedy from the Naked Gun and Airport is cruising the Caribbean. So the captain's on his last voyage before retirement, so what could go wrong? Well, the cruise liner collides with a mysterious black freighter and it sinks, drowning most of the crew and the tourists aboard. And the few survivors are adrift, and fortunately, or unfortunately, as the case may be, their life raft bumps into said mysterious black freighter that seems to be abandoned, but does have a boarding ladder conveniently positioned down the side of the hull in much the same way as a spider might provide a convenient net to assist any unexpected visitors. So our heroes clamber aboard the ladder and up the side of the ship, and once aboard the ship, the survivors of the cruise sinking soon realise that the ship's only abandoned by the living, but it is very occupied by the ghosts of long-dead Nazi merchant seamen. So for me, Death Ship was one of the most memorable movies of the early days of home video, especially the box and poster art, which really captured the creepy ambience and the overall dread of the film for me. The atmosphere of this one really is palpable. It just feels dirty, grimy, oily and claustrophobic with a pinch of pestilence thrown in, which brings me to some of the social commentary to be had with Death Ship. There's quite a bit of it oozing from the pores of the ship itself. The concept of contagions a running theme throughout the movie, whether good old-fashioned pestilence, demonic possession, or the contagion of fascism and Nazism. These are all running themes in the film. So it's quite effective as far as making some kind of statement goes. Like Shockwaves, Death Ship draws on real-life historical horrors to dredge up a kind of fear of the past and historical horrors repeating themselves on a loop. It's kind of a pretty cool bit of social commentary there. And there's even effective sequences involving a projector in this film that really drives home these themes of past horrors repeating, just as history tends to have a habit of doing. And if, like me, you love these slow burn, atmospheric horror movies, Death Ship is definitely one to add to the list. So it's genuinely a novel idea, Death Ship, and it's a pretty cool concept that the ship itself poses a greater danger to our castaways than if they just kept paddling past the ship in their lifeboat through these treacherous Caribbean shark-infested waters. And the sound design of this movie is suitably creepy and effective, as you'd hope and as you'd expect. And Richard Crenna from First Blood is a worthy sparring partner to George Kennedy when it comes to chewing up all of the nautical scenery to be had. And one of the screenwriters for this movie was Jack Hill, who directed Spider Baby and Foxy Brown, of course. Cool little director, and in this case, a cool screenwriter. And I can't recommend Death Ship highly enough. I reckon it'd make a perfect double bill with 1977's Shockwaves. Both of them are these creepy, atmospheric Nazi zombie horror movies, and they'd both make for a really entertaining night in. And I reckon something nice to enjoy with this film might be a nice bowl of creamy seafood chowder or something like that, with a glass of buttery Chardonnay. Chardonnay, that is, not a German Riesling, of course, unless you want to go right down that rabbit hole. So that is Death Ship from 1980. I'll leave a link to the trailer where you can watch, and any other Easter eggs that I do find in the description. And thanks for joining me here on Fulci Metal Jacket if it's your first time. Thanks for coming back if you've been here before. Here we cover all the kinds of films that lurk and loiter just beyond the mainstream. So if you are still here and enjoying this content, please like, comment, subscribe, share and all that jazz. Otherwise it does feel like I'm shouting into the void at times. And if you're a fan of Death Ship, I'd love to know your thoughts on this one, overall thoughts on the movie and this nautical horror genre in general. So again, thanks for joining me, and I do hope to see you next time.